brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery, proud to be the official hospital of the New York Mets. By Geico. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Trust me, they don't drive that fast going down Lombard Street. I can promise you that. Fans, follow every Mets game with MLB.com at bat for your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Mets.com today. Let's take a look at today's thrill of the game. Moments are brought to you by Pepsi. Live for now. I'd say this is a pretty big thrill when you got Hunter Pence out giving you the autograph. And Vic Black out with the Met fans on the other side.
Very nice. Terry Collins, the skipper's out and about.
Terry's always out doing that, and that's just great stuff. Coit Tower in San Francisco, one of the great cities in the country to come check out. And the Mets are hoping to leave on a good note, trying to avoid the sweep. First pitch, Mets and Giants. We're coming right back. You can see from AT&T Park another fantastic day. The weather here has been unbelievable all weekend. And Tim Lincecum out of the dugout, going to take the mound and make the start today. This is cool. I love when teams do this, Keith. They get the little leaguers out there.
It's a wonderful idea.
Get to talk to the player, get an autograph. It's great. Here's the lineup for the New York Mets, brought to you by Geico. Noticeable absence is David Wright. And the first pitch to Den Decker is a strike, we're underway. Wright, his first day off of the year. And Daniel Murphy batting third today, not second. Den Decker leading off again. He's had a pretty good series up there. And it's a ball to Den Decker. 74 degrees. Fantastic today. And here's Lincecum.
There's his numbers. More hits than innings pitched. Too many walks. Almost half the ratio of innings pitched. And they say his problem has been that he gets the ball up too much in the strike zone. And he's a tiny guy. Tiny. He's not a big guy. He puts everything into his pitches. I think it's kind of worn on him over the years.
It's a 1-2 to Den Decker, and it's upstairs. Well, He hasn't been the same guy, Keith. When he came on, he took the league by storm. I mean, 2-time Cy Young winner, back-to-back years, his 2 first full seasons, and was overwhelming. And last 3 years, he's had an ERA, if not over 5, right around 5.
Well, he's one of 4 guys to win back-to-back Cy Young awards. That was in 2008 and 2009. You mentioned it, Kevin. His first 2 full seasons, he was the first player in Major League history in his first 2 seasons to win back-to-back Cy Youngs.
2-2 to Dendecker, and he works the count full.
Well, there you go. He's in good company. You knew he would be.
Yeah.
I mean, modern-era pitchers in there. Maddox, Johnson, and Lincecum. Koufax go back a ways.
There you go. Recognition in the ballpark. They've got all their history on display here in this ballpark, whether it's outside with statues or all kinds of things inside the park. And Dendecker draws a leadoff walk. He's really done a nice job in the leadoff spot on this trip.
Well, his average is under 200, but I like what he's done. We'll take a look at the defense of the Giants, brought to you by Coors Light. Colvin getting a back-to-back start out in left field. Gregor Blanco gets a start in center. Hicks, Crawford, Sandoval, and Morse on the infield. Hector Sanchez spelling the MVP batting champ, Buster Posey. Posey evidently has had some back issues, missed some games due to back, and I think it's affecting his hitting. He had a rough night last night. Left some men on base, didn't he?
He had 2 times the bases loaded and double play, a strikeout, and he had been kind of coming around a little bit, but you're right, Keith. He's been dealing with that back, kept him out of 5 games, but word is around here that he's really played through it, and it hasn't really gone away.
Well, there's the beautiful scenery right there, the background of the East Bay looking over towards Oakland.
Well, Keith, one thing that we should note, we came on and talked about the game last night, which was a real difficult one for the Mets and in so many different areas, but they also made a move as Travis d'Arnaud is no longer with the team. He was sent down to AAA, and Tejada goes after a high hard one, and it's 2-1. So d'Arnaud, who was at 180 on the average and did not start last night. It wasn't necessarily surprising that he sent him down, maybe just surprising after last night, but I think the Mets were getting worried about his confidence being shot.
Well, confidence is always a big thing for a young player, and they can put on all the front they want. You never know what's going on inside their head. When you're hitting on the interstate and you're young and you don't know if you belong in the big leagues, we all have to go through it. I think with him hitting the 2 double plays last night and the offer he took, you can tell by his body language that he might have hit rock bottom. And let him go down, relax. I got sent down. I made it back.
I don't think it's a tragic thing. I mean, there goes Dendecker. Tejada swings and missed. The throw by Sanchez is off the mark. And a stolen base for Dendecker, his second as a Met.
And that's a hit and run right there, I believe. So Terry Collins is trying to do anything he can to get this offense out of neutral. Offense has just been awful, particularly with runners in scoring position. And Dendecker brings you that speed. Dendecker hits. He's going to have himself. You see him look back, hit and run. I like it. Something you don't see in today's game an awful lot. It's kind of a lost art.
Well, an early chance for the Mets, and this is where they've been struggling all year, and particularly lately. And Tejada down on strikes. But I want to finish about Dendecker here. About d'Arnaud here, Keith. You talked about you got sent down. Plenty of guys have gotten sent down and come up and been just fine. And, I think there's a lot thrown on his shoulders. I mean, he knew it, that basically the Mets were trotting him out there as their catcher of the next 10 years, at least so they hoped. And, let's face it, he didn't really even have any stretch where the hitting kind of came to him this year.
Mickey Mantle got sent down. He's the next Joe DiMaggio. Okay, and he made it back, obviously, in a big way. I was supposed to be the next. They traded Joe Torre for me, and I was the heir apparent. And the next Stan Musial, please, not even close. I got sent down. It's embarrassing when you get sent down. You feel like you failed.
Then Decker is going to be caught. Lincecum throws to third, and he left too early, and he's out. So then Decker, who stole second, jumped the gun early there, caught stealing. And there's 2 away.
I just think there's got to be a red light on some of these guys when they get in scoring position. Anybody trying to steal third base, you haven't got any Vince Colemans out here on this team. You haven't even got any Angel Pagans as far as speed. You're in scoring position. Let's not get carried away. You've got there's got to be a red light on these guys when they get in scoring position.
You know, I'd say base running for this team last year was a real strength overall. It has not been this year for a variety of different reasons, and there you go. Cost him a run. Daniel Murphy with a 2-out single to right.
Well, I just don't see how a rookie that's going to have a green light. I can see giving Den Decker a green light at first base. Let him try to steal second. But he's got to get a steal sign on second base. It's an automatic hold, you guys, unless you get a steal sign. And if you don't get a jump, you don't have to steal, because you're not going to put a hit and run on with a runner on second base. So if you don't get it, it's the option to steal. I'm not telling you you must steal. If you feel you got a bad jump, don't steal. Wait for the next pitch until we put the hold on. We're just taking ourselves out of innings. It's just too much rope given on the bases, on these stolen bases.
I don't have a stat on it, but I mean, that's got to be like the 4th, 5th time that a Met has been caught with the pitcher with the ball going to third. No, I mean, I feel like it's happened.
Well, it happened to Chris Young.
Yeah, happened to Murphy. It's happened once is way too many.
So,
well, anyway, here's Granderson with Murphy off of first. 2-0 to Curtis, who's reached base 20 straight games now. He's turned into a walk machine.
Just another quick point I want to make on Darno, because it's not the end of the world when you get sent down. And you know what? Okay, I don't think the weight of the world was put on Darno's shoulder. He was hitting 7th, 8th. He's not put there in the 3rd spot and supposed to be one of the big guns to carry the ball club.
Granderson hits one to center and deep. Back is Blanco looking up, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Curtis Granderson, his 7th of the year, and the Mets jump out in front on Lincecum, 2-0.
Well, this ball was crushed. The fans throw the ball back in. This is dead central. Way out. Fastball down and away. Curtis crushes it right over the Visa sign. That is only the 2nd home run that Lincecum has given up to left-handers this year. That is his 9th on the season.
And now it's Chris Young.
Well, low ball hitter. Ball outer half of the plate down right into his wheelhouse. And that ball's crushed.
Deep part of the park, down in right center, that's for sure. So Granderson with home run number 7, his first since May 20th against Josh Beckett and the Dodgers. And the Mets jumping out to a 2-0 lead with Chris Young 1-1 to him. Mets have done fine scoring in the first inning. Only the Giants are better. It's been scoring after the first inning that's been their problem. 2-2 to Chris Young. They've also, and just look at this series, amazing stat for them as they have had 20 losses giving up leads. 20. Chris Young hits one to left, and this one is deep, but Colvin has room. And he'll make the catch, and the inning is over. But Mets with a couple more first inning runs, thanks to Curtis Granderson, his 7th home run of the year. 2-run shot off Lincecum. Bottom first we go. Mets out in front, 2-0. Giants, Angel Pagan, who's been on fire, especially in this series, getting the day off. So it's Gregor Blanco in center field, and Buster Posey out of the lineup with Hector Sanchez catching. Michael Morse with a walk-off winner last night, batting cleanup.
And there's Zach Wheeler's numbers for the season. His ERA was almost at 5 in the 4.80s, so he's almost brought it down a run, I should say, over his last 3-4 starts.
And Gregor Blanco will lead it off, giving Angel Pagan a rest. Blanco, a valuable sub for these Giants, has been for a few years. And Wheeler starts him off with a strike. Pagan, well, he was trouble last night. He was on base all 5 times, 3 hits, and then after striking out, reached on the wild pitch, scored on that double from Hunter Pence with the tying run.
Let's not forget here that Wheeler's pitching against his old troops. He was part of that 2011 July trade that sent Carlos Beltran here. And Wheeler was the big guy. That trade never would have come down if Wheeler wasn't. Look at the glove there. These guys are nuts. Wheeler, if he wasn't involved in the trade, that was the one guy the Mets wanted.
0-2 and just missed the corner. Yeah, then that was for Carlos Beltran, and of course he faced his former team twice last year. And maybe, Keith, the first time he faced him, July 10th, you can make an argument it might have been his best game as a Met. I mean, he went 7 innings, 3-hitter, 1 run allowed, struck out 7, was just dominant in that game. Blanco will tap it out to first due to Wheeler, and there's 1 down.
And we'll take a look at your Metropolitan defense, brought to you by Lexus. Chris Young, another start. Den Decker, he's earned another start in center field. Tejada been swinging the bat pretty good. He's gives you defense at shortstop. Record behind the plate with d'Arnaud is being sent down. And that brings us back to d'Arnaud. And I just want to make the point, Kev, and I can speak for myself, my experience. When I got sent down, I was kind of humiliated. I was hitting .230, wasn't playing every day, and I was lost. My confidence was shattered. They were jamming me, and I needed to go down. The first game back in Tulsa, I didn't want to come out of the clubhouse, but I was greeted by my teammates from the minor leagues. The team, Hector Cruz was still there, a bunch of guys, and they greeted me and made me feel welcome. And I was a bit ashamed and embarrassed. And I was afraid to come out to the first game I played. It was in Tulsa. I led the league in hitting the year before. I felt like I had failed. I was just like ashamed, but it was like opening day again. But I hit .330 and I made it back. So I got my confidence back. That's the key. And I think that's what d'Arnaud right now. If you look at d'Arnaud, and you don't know what's going on inside his head, but I can tell you one thing: it's 80% mental. Maybe there's some things you can do with his swing, but you lose your confidence, everything speeds up. It's like what Yogi said. It's what is that? What was that saying? He says 90% half mental.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because Terry Collins today was talking, as you would expect, at length about d'Arnaud. As Wheeler's gone 3-1 against Pence here, and I asked him how much he thought confidence was a factor. He said, "Look, confidence is everything." And he said the other thing, big cut 3-2. He said the one thing that I noticed is, especially lately, d'Arnaud tried to make adjustments every single day, and that's just not going to work at this level. He said they have had some chatter in the organization about it for about a week, and then finally pulled the trigger last night. I guess my question, when you go down, is Pence draws a walk. How much, Keith? How much tinkering do you think they'll do with him, or do you think it's just a matter of letting him, letting him get his footing there for a little while, and then if there's the adjustments to be made, you do it? How does that work?
Well, I'm of the feeling the most important coach is the pitching coach. He is far more important than any of the other 5 coaches. And number 2 would be your third base coach. Hitting coach is down the list as far as I'm concerned. You can give too much information, and where someone needs to clear his head, doesn't need all this formula in his head, and making it more confusing and thinking and making changes. What got you here was your swing. Okay, if you're hitting fly balls, you're not going to make, it's Sandoval's up here, you're not going to make big changes. If I'm d'Arnaud, I'm just going to go up. I'm going to go up the middle. I'm going to hit line drives, get my line drive stroke back. You're going to play every day without pressure. He knows he's going to be in the lineup every day. If he doesn't hit for a month, he's going to play. That takes a big burden off your shoulders.
Yeah.
And he can relax, away from the spotlight, get his groove back, and don't think how many players have we seen get called back up when they come up from AAA. We can make an example right now, Andrew Brown. The Mets are hoping that he hit in .359 down AAA in 36 games with the home runs. He's in a groove from playing every day. Now, they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle with him. I got called back up in September after that, and I was in my groove, and I hit the ball good. It's all about getting out of the box in April. You know, when the season starts, you've got to get over that hump. I was always a bad starter early in my career, and don't think it wasn't in the back of my mind. And I finally had a good April. I think it was 76 was my breakout year. So 2 years into my career in the big leagues, took me 3 years to get over the hump.
Sandoval rips one foul, still 0-2 with Pence on first. This graphic stunned me a little bit. You know, Todd Hundley, 178 after his first 257 plate appearances. And Todd Hundley, by the way, hit 41 home runs and drove in, what, 120? I mean, he had a nice Mets career. So, yeah, to your point, there's hope. There's time.
Now, granted, a lot of kids right now, it's changing. They're drafting more out of high school now, which I agree. But you get a lot of kids out of college, they're older. I mean, you're looking at me when I broke out when I was 23 years old, 22. I was in the big leagues when I was 20. It might have been too early. When you come out of college, you're 23 years old, you're a little more mature, but still, it's the big leagues, and it's not college. It's the big league, it's not AAA. It's a big step up, and everybody has this. They get their chance. Do I belong? There's always self-doubt. The only way you're going to do it is to have success out there. And no one can swing the bat for you. You got to get in that box and do it. It's that simple.
Meanwhile, Wheeler's got 0-2 to Sandoval with Pence off at first. And he'll check on him and he throws it away. It gets away from Duda. And Pence going on down to second.
Not that bad a throw. If you have a left-handed first baseman, it's a little easier to make that play. That's going to be an E1, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's how they scored.
Boy.
It's 0-2 to Sandoval, and he goes down swinging. First strikeout for Zach Wheeler, and it's a second out.
There you go. A little slider. Good pitch. Tight little slider. Starts knee high, breaks out of the strike zone. And Sandoval's the kind of hitter that you can throw that bait pitches at him. He's a free swinger. He can chase.
Now it's Mike Morse, who had the walk-off winner last night in the ninth inning against Henry Mejia. Terry Collins opted to intentionally walk Pablo Sandoval with Pence, the game-winning run on third, not Morse with the bases loaded, or to load the bases. And he pitched to Morse, and it cost him. We were talking about Todd Hundley. Here's the year. I was 112 RBIs. I said 120. But, yeah, I mean, so just proof that bad start doesn't define you for your career. And now it's really what d'Arnaud does with these next, who knows, 3 weeks, whatever it is. I mean, Terry Collins didn't want to put a number on it today, but he estimated, hey, look, it's not going to be quick. 50 at-bats, maybe. You got to get comfortable down there and see how he does, but this is not going to be an overnight fix. Mike Morse has been great in these spots all year long. 355 runners in scoring position and 2 away like there is right now. Left side for Tejada, the jump throw on target. And the inning is over. So good first for Zach Wheeler. We played one in San Francisco. Mets 2, Giants nothing. On the Padres at 110. All dads in attendance, kids 12 and under, receive a Mets cap courtesy of Nathan's. And stop by for Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest on Mets Plaza during the pregame. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Family Sundays.
There you go. Anchored in McCovey Cove.
Perfect day out there in the 70s.
The Bay Area, San Francisco Bay, folks, is not a very deep water bay. Even though they used to have the Pacific Fleet here would come in. They don't have that anymore. The politicians here did not want the Pacific Fleet. They're down in San Diego. But it's not a real deep water bay as large as it is.
Very rough. I guess that was the thinking with Alcatraz, huh? So if you get out of there, you're not going to swim out of there.
Well, the current's right there. You're right.
Even out there, though, Keith, when I was out there in the kayak in 07, even in that little cove, the currents are pretty strong.
The water's cold, too.
Yeah.
And there's the old docks over there.
Duda goes around as he leads it off for the Mets here in the second.
When I was a little kid, my dad took us up by the Golden Gate Bridge. The USS Enterprise was coming in the dock, and it had to go through under the Golden Gate Bridge. It was quite an impressive display. It was be a little young boy. I was like 8 years old.
Well, that's cool.
See that big vessel.
Duda had a couple hits last night. Double, single, run scored, RBI. Also walked.
There's a dry dock right there. Old Carrier. Across the bay.
A lot of sailing going on this weekend.
Well, it's a beautiful day for it.
And the 1-2 is inside. 2-2 to Lucas Duda. And Lincecum has always been, fun to watch, even in these days, as buttered popcorn. And the sound effects, too. They've got great food here. Even in the days now that his fastball doesn't have the same zip, just his motion, his stride, his delivery. I hope he gets the same thing. Duda rips one to right, but Pence has a beat on it, makes the catch, and there's out number one.
He doesn't look as extreme to me as he used to be with his motion. Everybody talked about his motion. Comes from the belt. Big stride. So command has been his issue. I think he still throws plenty hard enough. I haven't seen him throw his changeup. There was a period, Kev, in that transition period from the first 3 years, he started to fall in love with his changeup.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the World Series he had when Bruce Bochy brilliantly put him in the bullpen. And he was the difference for the Giants that year out of the pen.
It was amazing. He had an ERA over 5 that year. I mean, that playoff run was really incredible because they got unbelievable contributions from Zito as a starter. And then Lincecum, that year in the pen, it was pretty incredible. So he goes to the bullpen he had only had, I believe, one time as a relief appearance in the major leagues. Topped down to Sandoval. And Campbell retired for 2 outs. And then he goes and Bochy throws him in the pen and uses him in high leverage spots. And in that postseason, he pitched 13 innings, allowed 1 run, struck out 17. I mean, incredible stuff.
Well, he had one start in that 2012 World Series championship season. That was against the Cardinals, but that's when Bochy made the decision to put him in the bullpen.
Yes.
And then in the World Series, he had 2 appearances, went 4 2/3, didn't give up a hit or a run, obviously. He was a big part of the Giants winning that second crown.
There are a lot of storylines with that second crown. Obviously, they won the first crown with Brian Wilson as a closer. That's when Sergio Romo emerged, too, and was awesome that postseason. That's not Lincecum numbers, at least what it was earlier in his career. Oh, 0-1 Anthony Recker now, and with d'Arnaud getting sent down, as we've been talking about, Terry Collins said today that it'll probably be a split between Anthony Recker and Taylor Teagarden, who, by the way, was brought up for d'Arnaud. Teagarden, 30 years old, was in spring training this year and had 8 home runs down in AAA. We assume no record gets a little bit more of the time. Sorry, Keith.
No, the record will get the most of the playing time. But Tiergarten came up originally with Texas, I believe, in 2008. In 16 games, hit .319, but from that point on, basically a backup catcher. And here's the trouble with Lincecum. There he is right there. Andrew Brown on his left. Another Texan. They play baseball down in Texas.
Oh, yeah, they do. He's been backing up Matt Wieters in Baltimore the last couple of years and hasn't gotten a lot of playing time. 2-2, and strike three called. So Lincecum has his second strikeout. He's got a 1-2-3 inning. But it's the Mets on the Granderson 2-run home run who are out in front. 2-0, bottom two we go. We saw the cat out on the boat yesterday. Now we got the dog in shades and the life jacket.
I thought dogs are natural swimmers.
I did too, but maybe that one is can't swim. Perfect day by the Bay. 2-0 Mets on Curtis Granderson's 7th home run of the year. 2-run shot to center field in the first. And it's Zach Wheeler facing 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Hector Sanchez at catcher today. He's a switch hitter. And giving Buster Posey a day off behind the plate. Sanchez has been struggling as he takes a strike of late. Just 3 for his last 34, but drew a big walk last night in the Giants rally after the David Wright era that led to Pagan's 2-run single.
That's what I like what Wheeler's been doing. Make those guys move their feet. He's been throwing that fastball inside. And if he misses off the plate. A guy throws that hard, it gets the hitter's attention. Sets up that backdoor slider he's been using so effectively.
Line drive to center and a leadoff hitter on base for San Francisco.
Well, Hector Sanchez is a decent hitter off the bench. The Giants' weak spot is probably their bench. But they like this guy. He swings the bat. Nice swing right there. After the pitch in, fastball away, went right with it.
I'll bring up Tyler Colvin getting the call in left field for the second straight day. Colvin at 241. Getting some playing time in left for the last month because of the injury to Brandon Belt. It was Michael Morse who was starting in left field from day one, but then when Belt got hurt, Morse went over to first base, and they've had Colvin and Juan Perez and mixing and matching a little bit out there. Blanco in left. Colvin's also struggled, just 4 of his last 32. Okay, we talked about it in the open. Wheeler, he's really kind of turned the corner here. His last 3 starts have been fantastic. And I think the biggest thing that you take out of these numbers, the fact that he's not walking people. 23 strikeouts and only 3 walks in that time.
I think he hit rock bottom in that Yankee start when he just didn't have it. He was all over the place, if you recall.
And that's a fair ball. Get over there quickly by Chris Young, and it's a single.
Well, that's all about scouting right there. That ball's right down the line, and Young was way over in the opposite field, held it to a single. You think anything hit down the line like this would be 2 bags. This is right over the base. But you see where Young's positioned, and Sanchez doesn't run well as a catcher. Nice hitting by Colvin. And that brings up the guy that's really kind of opened my eyes. We talked about him a lot, Brandon Crawford, last night, Kev. He's really an impressive player.
Yeah, he is. 4 for 7 in this series as Crawford. 244 hitter.
I mean, you can't have all-star players up and down your lineup. You got to have those guys that are little gritty players, that are good journeyman players that know how to play the game. Good curve. Well, 1 pitch away, when you make contact, what's the key to hitting a ball in the outside corner? Look how back deep that ball got on Colvin. And they let the ball get deep. That's today's terminology. For me, it is hitting the ball right up at the plate.
Sorry, Crawford 3 for 6, but 2 RBIs in this series. Tomahawk to right. It's a base hit. Sanchez being waved round. Granderson going to throw to third. Runners at the corners. RBI single for Brandon Crawford. He just keeps on hitting this series. And the Giants on the board is 2-1.
Giants are hot. You can just sense it. Fastball, wanted it in, bled out over the middle. Mistake. And they're playing him to the opposite field, and Granderson playing deep. Sanchez scores easily, and Colvin, he plays it. You don't have to look at your coach. You know you can make it. Come on. Use your own initiative.
Well, it's 3 straight singles for the Giants here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The RBI from Crawford, his 3rd of the series. And that'll bring up Brandon Hicks. Yeah, that average is unsightly, but he's got power, evidenced by the 8 home runs, 6 doubles, hit his first career triple the other night as well.
Good slider. Now we're talking about a ball when you pull. See how the difference would out in front more when you pull the ball. Very nice.
Really cool shots, Keith.
It's always nice, the camera facing the body of the hitter. So a right-hand hitter, the low first base camera. Left-hand hitter, low third. That's where you see the swing.
Nicely done by our guys here today. Danny Barr at the controls today.
Yes. Schulte's back.
Schulte's here.
They let
Pickers in the producer's seat.
They let him out for the week.
That doesn't change.
They let Schulte out for the weekend.
Schulte every once in a while gets a pass to come to a road city, and then we don't see him for a couple weeks. 0-2 to Brandon Hicks as Wheeler looks for the first out of the inning, and he's away, and it's 1-2.
No, the Giants began a big stretch of home games right here. Coming today, the 9.5 game lead over the Dodgers, and the way they play at home, they can really, Dodgers don't watch out, they can put them way out of their rearview mirror.
1-2 on the way.
We're kind of going to punctuate hitting the ball with the split screen. On the left is Colvin hitting the ball in the outside corner. Look at the difference. Here's Crawford pulling a ball. It's huge. It's stark. You don't pull a ball, obviously, you got to hit it more out in front. Key to hitting a ball away. Well, it's right there. I don't have to explain that. It's pretty.
Letting it get deep, right?
Yep.
Just great shots. 2-2. And it's 3-2 now for Wheeler. The head 0-2 on Hicks, and now the count goes full. Looking for the first out of the inning with Lincecum on deck, the pitcher. Payoff from Wheeler. Fouled straight back. Goes right into the booth next to us.
That would be the Krukow and Kuiper next to us on the right, the TV team. The very popular TV duo. There's Krukow on the right with Gray. Got a ball in his hand, the old pitcher. There's Dwayne Kuiper, Cleveland Indian most of his career, second baseman. 86, Krukow against us, the Mets. Was 4-0. He was a Met killer.
Both do a great job on the broadcast here. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat to Brandon Hicks. Crawford was in motion on that last pitch off of first base. Not going this time. Hicks goes around. Now Crawford's going to take off late, and he'll get to second base as the ball got away from Recker.
Curveball in the dirt. Recker does everything to get in front. It just pops out of his mitt. Heads up base running.
Crawford on the wild pitch, not a steal that time. But it sets up second and third with one down. Second strikeout for Wheeler. And here is Lincecum, 0 for 16 at the plate this year. 111 career hitter. You get Colvin at third and Crawford at second.
Mets in at the corners, back on the middle infield positions, conceding the run, except in the corners.
Misses the fastball away, and it's 1-0 to Lincecum.
Lincecum, a lifetime 115 hitter coming into this season with 409 at bats. Takes a good cut. He's an athlete.
Yeah, he does. This Giants team, 41-21, 20 games over 500 at this point. They've won 9 of their last 11 games. And there's even more of a stunning note after this. A 1-1 to Lincecum with 2 in scoring position. There's a strike. And it's 1-2. Keith, it's the best record through 62 games by the Giants since they've been in San Francisco. They're tied with the 1962 team.
That's a good start.
It's an unbelievable start.
It's back in the days when Mike McCormick was in the bullpen, I think, in 62.
1-2. Fastball away.
That Jack Sanford was their ace.
The Dodgers have lost 7 of the last 10 after losing in Colorado yesterday, and 9.5 out on June 8th.
Yep.
baseman just missed. Very athletic by Tim Flannery at third base to hop out of the way.
The 62 Giants had a young Juan Marichal. Billy O'Dell had a big year. The left-hander. I remember those Giants. Jimmy Davenport at third, Pagan at short, Chuck Hiller at second, Cepeda first. McCovey was in left.
Wheeler strikes out Lincecum, his third strikeout and the second out of the inning.
Good pitch, fastball in. Good pitch.
So Wheeler's got 3 strikeouts today. He came into this game striking out 9 per 9 innings. So a strikeout an inning, which was 8th best in the National League. So he is striking out plenty. Still 2 on. Colvin at third. That's Crawford at second. 1 run in on the Giants. They started the inning with 3 straight singles. Crawford with the RBI single. And now back to the top of the order with Gregor Blanco. Playing center field today, giving Angel Pagan a rest. Blanco grounded out to first base in Duda to lead off for the Giants in the first. And this one is just foul. Just foul.
Giants are little pesky little hitters. They make contact.
Pesky and aggressive. Usually swing early in the count. They've been good, actually great, scoring runners in 2 outs. Scored 46% of their runs with 2 outs this year. And Blanco 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Seems like that's the line for a lot of these guys. Wheeler's 0-1. Fastball high, 1-1. Well, told you about Wheeler striking people out. Doesn't hurt that he throws 94.5 miles an hour on average. It's among the best in the game. Rodano Ventura is an electric rookie in Kansas City, and Garrett Richards is former #1 pick coming into his own for Anaheim this year.
There's that gas. That's like dial it up a notch. You missed the train. This is thrown right by him.
Zach looking for his 4th strikeout. The 1-2. Pence on deck. Wheeler about to throw his 45th pitch as we play here in the 2nd inning. It's always packed at AT&T. 276 consecutive sellouts. Another 1-2, and Blanco rips one to right, fair ball. 2 runs going to come on in. Blanco racing for 2. Granderson over the field. Blanco going to go for 3. Here comes Murphy's relay throw to Campbell, the tag, and he's out at third base. But 2 RBIs puts the Giants in front. Blanco drives him in with a double, thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. And a big hit, another 2-out hit for San Francisco. Big inning for the Giants. They get 3 off Zach Wheeler. Granderson to Murphy to Campbell prevented it from being more. We've played 2 innings. 3-2. Giants jump in front. for the start of this one.
Sure, I was.
That looks fun.
That looks like more fun.
That does look a little better. That's for sure. Like the Haas. Perfect day. Great atmosphere as always here at AT&T Park. And the Mets trying to avoid getting swept as Wheeler squares to drop down a bunt. And it's foul.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Wheeler's got an idea up the plate, too. He's dangerous. He's not an easy out.
He's 1 for 18 on the year, but he takes some pretty good rips.
He's got an idea.
Trying to get something going there.
Interesting that we have both starters are right-hand throwers and left-hand hitters.
Yeah. Tough inning for Zach. Giants put 3 runs on him. Gregor Blanco with a big 2-out, 2-run double, thrown out trying to stretch it to 3, and Wheeler to center. Blanco puts him away for the first out. Here's Dendecker, who walked, stole a base, and then made a blunder in that first inning. After stealing second, he was caught trying to steal third with Lincecum with the ball in his hand. Just stepped off through to third, and he was pegged and cost the Mets a run. Because Murphy would get a hit, Granderson would hit a 2-run home run. And take strike 1 here from Lincecum. Morse taking himself 2 away. Let's do the Verizon trivia question today. The only 2 pitchers in San Francisco Giants history with more strikeouts than Tim Lincecum. I'll get you that a little bit later in the game as Tejada bats now. Tejada in the 2-hole today with David Wright off. Terry Collins mixing it up. Tejada's been swinging the bat relatively well of late, although he struck out the first time up. Wright missing his first game of the year. And Terry Collins said they had a little discussion of it. David, of course, didn't want to take the day off, but playing every day with the day off tomorrow, you figure give it a couple days, and that's not the only factor here. I mean, Wright against Tim Lincecum career is a 130 hitter. According to Elias, that's the 3rd lowest batting average against any pitcher he's had with at least 20 at-bats. Only Beckett and Burnett are worse for Wright, so it just makes sense with the off day today.
Even if he had success against Lincecum, today is a good day for an off day. It's either he plays today, you give him tomorrow and the first day of the homestand off, or this way where you give this final game. But David's been slumping. It's not been a good road trip for him. This gives him 48 hours. Clear the air. Relax.
He did not want to come out as the captain when the team's going bad. You lose 5 in a row, but hopefully it rejuvenates. 1-2 upstairs to Tejada.
I'm telling you, I would tell David, if I was the skipper, I'd say, listen, I don't want you taking batting practice today. I just want you to take a day off. Strike 3 right there.
3rd strikeout for Tim Lincecum. Easy inning in the 3rd. Mets down in order. It's the Giants up 3-2 on New York. bottom 3 from AT&T Park. Temperatures in the 70s, sold-out crowd. Wheeler and Lincecum, the matchup. Keith Hernandez, Kevin Burkhardt with you. Glad to have you along. Gary Cohen with one more day off. He'll be back with us on Tuesday, and that's when the Mets think this series is difficult. Well, they go from the team that's the best in the National League to the team that's the second best in the National League. An off day tomorrow, and then the Brewers at Citi Field 4-3. They're leading the NL Central by 5 games over the Cardinals coming into today. This here's Hunter Pence, and curveball, ball 1 to Pence. Hunter walked his first time up.
Interesting story about Pence. He just signed a long-term contract. $90 million. How many years, Kev? 5?
5 years.
He was a free agent, and evidently his agent said he could get him more money, and Pence just told his agent, hey, I love it here. I want to stay here.
What a novel idea.
Right? And you know what? When you're happy where you're at, you're going to perform better. And sometimes, the way I look at it, okay, your agent gets you $110 million. What's the difference when you're making $90 million? I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
you're pretty much set for life. So why not play where you're comfortable and where you like to play?
And he gets drilled here.
Oh, he didn't like that.
No. Still looking at Wheeler on the way down to first base.
Well, we'll see how this. That's in the ribs too. If you're going to hit someone, that's a good one. Is there a warning being issued? I don't believe so.
Well, that hurts.
Yep. That's the ribs. So 4 hits. You got batted around that last inning. First hitter gets drilled. We'll see what transpires the rest of this Wago.
Well, what it is, another leadoff runner for the Giants with Sandoval up. And Wheeler's first pitch is upstairs. So I told you about the Mets coming home to take on the Brewers. Well, they won again today. They took a series from Pittsburgh, 2 of 3. They won 1-0 today. And they've got a lot of things going for them, the Brewers team does. Everyone kind of thought they would fade away. Well, they haven't. Gallardo went 7 for the win. And then how about the season by Francisco Rodriguez, his 19th save. Here's the replay.
Good curve, slider, whatever you want to call it, down and in.
He went 1 1/3, Keith. K-Rod's 19 of 21 in saves this year. He's completely reborn. He's a guy that wasn't even initially going to be signed back by Milwaukee.
And the Brew Crew is coming to town.
They're one of the best offenses in the league. I mean, they've got speed with Segura on top. They've got power with Braun, Aramis Ramirez. Jonathan Lucroy's turned into a star. He should be an all-star this year at catcher. He's hitting .335. And then Carlos Gomez he's an MVP candidate. I mean, that's the type of what he's done the last couple of years for that team, batting third. And actually, Gomez batted cleanup today for Milwaukee. So that's who the Mets have next at Citi Field. They'd like to go home not on a 6-game losing streak, though. 1-2. 2-2 to the Panda. Slushies. And the count goes full.
I got to believe Pence will be in motion here. Just an absolutely gorgeous day, a cloudless day, blue sky, blue bay in the background, mountains, the East Mountains across the bay. Just gorgeous.
There goes Pence. Fouls the curveball back, and Sandoval stays alive. So Wheeler laboring a bit today. He's at 55 pitches in the third inning. Remember, last 3 starts, a 1.37 ERA, 23 strikeouts, 3 walks. Got 3 strikeouts today, but also walked a batter and just hit Pence. 7th pitch of the at-bat right here. Pence going. And Sandoval drills it to right. Pence makes the turn, going to go to third. Giants on the move with their speed atop the lineup again. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
That should get some activity up in that bullpen. This is the 2nd inning in a row. And the Giants are impressive. Then a slider. Didn't get it down and in enough. Too much plate. Good hitting. Boy, oh boy, are they hot. Slider down and in. Didn't get it in enough. Big stride by Sandoval. Right on it.
So the Giants poised for a big inning here. But Michael Morse at the plate. Morse tied for 3rd in the National League with 13 home runs. He's 3rd with 42 RBIs. They love Morse. If you were looking for clarification and confirmation, you just got it. So dangerous spot for Wheeler here early in this game.
And we're going to get some activity down there in that Met bullpen.
That's Dana Evelyn, the left-hander.
Evelyn called up in that Philadelphia series, that 57-inning, 5-game series.
Curveball to third. Campbell going to try and turn 2. And throws off. Duda makes the tag. And they make the turn. However, that'll score Hunter Pence. No RBI, but it adds a run for the Giants. Now 4-2. They lead it. Wheeler at least gets the ground ball, gets the double play to avert a big inning. And now Hector Sanchez, the catcher today, 1 for 1, singled and scored in the Giants' 3-run inning in the 2nd. Well, that was the 59th pitch for Wheeler already. On par with what Lincecum and Wheeler have been all year, and that is quite a few pitches.
Interesting. Lance Lynn in that group. He throws strike. He's a strike thrower.
Wheeler has gone at least 6 innings the last 4 games, and the last 3 have been quality starts. He might not make it there today. 1-1 is the count, and Sanchez watches it outside. 2-1 to the backup catcher for San Francisco. And it's 2-2. You know, it's rare to watch the Mets struggle in the pitching department because really they've gotten some good production there. And the last 17 games, Keith, they're 4th in Major League Baseball with a 2.81 staff ERA. In that time, they're only 8-9. I mean, got to capitalize a little bit better when you're getting the pitching like that. And when they don't have a good start, it's rare. But they're still not winning.
They're not driving in runs, Kev.
Here, Wheeler ends the inning with a strikeout of Sanchez. Number 4 on the day for Zach. Giants had a run, though, on the ground out double play from Mike Morse. 4-2 San Francisco. We go to the 4th. Work in the top of the fourth, and Lincecum starts him off with a curveball for strike one. Murphy has been established in the number 2 hole in the order with right off. Terry Collins puts him in the 3rd spot. It's the first time he's been anywhere but 2 since April 27th against the Marlins at Citi Field. He was cleanup that day. It's been one consistent in a lineup that has changed and personnel that's changed quite a bit. Granderson on deck. He's got the Mets offense today. A 2-run home run in the first. Three and 1 to Murphy. And Daniel Murphy is 2 for 2. Tim Lincecum has always had quite the delivery. It's a little different today. Look at these, are both frozen on the screen, the apex of his left arm, Keith. And you could see it's gone down a little bit over the years.
Well, he's got the big shoulder lift, and his father, taught him how to pitch, was a minor league player, and patterned him after Koufax, who was his dad's idol. And you can see the glove is definitely lower. And we'll take a look at Sandy here and look at the big shoulder lift there. Big leg kick, drop and drive. And that hides the ball from the hitter with that shoulder up. Nice hook right there from Lincecum. Best one he's thrown today.
Meanwhile, it was nice to see for Granderson, who's been walking an awful lot, but not necessarily driving in as many runs. On a 3-0 count, he swung and hit that home run in the first inning off Lincecum.
Oh, there you go. That's the motion. Hasn't changed. Very flexible.
Oh, 2, and Granderson punches one to left, and that is going to be fair.
Foul.
Oh, foul ball. My bad.
Well, Joe West wasn't very emphatic down the third base
West
line.
Had the little point. Let's check it out. Yep, clearly foul.
Clearly.
There's an article talking about Lincecum's motion a couple years ago in Sports Illustrated. Tom Verducci wrote it, and there's some great stuff about his mechanics with Tim and his dad. And his dad used to make him do the dollar bill drill. And Granderson down on the curveball. So Lincecum has his 4th strikeout. But what he used to do is, his dad wanted him to follow through on the motion. See that hook.
Another good one, back to back.
He wanted him to follow through, Keith, to keep his torso moving, to avoid a shoulder injury, essentially, without stopping. So he'd place a dollar bill on the ground just in front of his landing spot. He said, hey, you've got to pick up that dollar bill on the follow through. And he would say, if I put a $100 bill there, I bet you'd pick it up. So that made him follow through with that big motion.
He feels like he's got a feel for it. There you go. The impressive early numbers, accomplishments, I should say, of Lincecum. It's interesting. The Giants wanted to give him a long-term contract in the stratosphere, and he declined. You remember?
Yes.
And the reasoning behind him declining the long-term contract was because he was experiencing what Barry Zito went through. They got Barry Zito over from Oakland, gave him over a $100 million contract, and he never produced. He got the one good World Series where everybody said he earned his $100 million in that World Series, in that postseason. But it had such an effect on Lincecum and all the. I mean, it's no fun when you stink and you're getting paid a lot of money. And Lincecum declined the long-term contract. He said he did not want to have that kind of what Lincecum went through. He didn't want that on himself. Very interesting. He has now signed a long-term contract, but it wasn't a 2-year deal. But it's not in the stratosphere.
No, it's 2 years, $35 million. I mean, that was going to be over $100 million deal that he turned it down. Very interesting. I mean, that's what Max Scherzer did this offseason for Detroit, kind of betting on himself to make more money.
Now it's a little bit different, and then the salaries now are just put these players today. They put them financially secure, make them financially secure. You know, back in my day, shoot. You had your, remember, you only have your one time. You're 6 years in service. You can be a free agent.
2-1 to Young. Down to third. Sandoval stays with it, but not in time. Bobble costing Pablo Sandoval.
That's probably going to be a base hit. Sandoval, who's picked everything here that he can get to. He's sure-handed. He hasn't got great range, but he does have good hands. And good hustle by Murph.
They've scored this a fielder's choice. I don't necessarily agree with that one. I mean, I don't think he had any play at first base at all with Young running. I would have scored it a hit, but nonetheless.
Wow, it's a home book, too. Oh, well, that's a home book.
Yeah,
you're right.
Fielder's choice. Nonetheless, first and second for the Mets with one down. And now it's Duda at the plate. Taking down low. Oh, they just changed it to a hit.
Yeah, I was going to say, that can't be a fielder's choice.
Yeah, agreed.
It's either an error or a base hit.
Uh-oh.
A couple, uh-oh, hey, don't jump.
Listen. I think we've made a love connection. Duda's been pretty hot, Keith. Last 13 games, he's at 308 with a 460 on base, 46% on base, excuse me, 11 RBIs too. So he's starting to turn it on a little bit here. Lincecum has gone to a lot of off speed, a lot of breaking balls in this inning. He clearly doesn't throw as hard as he used to, but you know the thing is, he still strikes out a ton of people. I mean, even this year, with the velocity where it is in the 80s, he's still averaging almost 9 strikeouts per 9.
He's a strikeout guy. His walks are up. 31 walks in 64 innings pitched is too many. He's given up 71 hits coming into this game, too, Kev, within 64 and 2/3. That's too many. 8 home runs. Now 9. That's too many.
That's quite the list. And you look at Lincecum in his career with that 9.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. A great note from Elias today. First at 3-0 to Duda. Swinging 3-0 down to the right side. Morse try and turn it on Duda, and they get it done. Mike Morse turns the double play. And the inning is over. Lincecum gets the big ground ball. Giants 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Slowest dog in the universe. Sweet. It's great. It's great. All right, during today's game, you can get interactive with SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, featuring pitch-by-pitch coverage, player cards, and in-depth stats. Check out SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports. Tyler Colvin, the left fielder, number 6 hitter for the Giants today, leads it off here in the fourth. 4-2 San Francisco over New York, and Zach Wheeler, fastball upstairs. Wheeler's thrown a lot of pitches today, 65 pitches here in the fourth.
We talked about this Giant bench, Kev, over the series here.
Yes.
How it's a nice curveball from Wheeler there. How it's probably their weak spot, and you look at their numbers, and they're not impressive. But when they start, they're in the middle of things. They get it done, and that's what a manager wants. And so far today, the two reserve players, Colvin and Sanchez, have both got base hits and scored runs. They're in the middle of things. And this is what it takes when a winning season. You got to get it from your bench. And, you know, a manager makes a lineup up and he wants to rest his everyday players occasionally here. It's a day game after a night game. He hasn't got a crystal ball. Colvin and Sanchez, are they going to produce today? But here they are. They have. And this is what's been trending with the Giants.
It's such a good point. I mean, Sanchez, backup catcher, he's had some big hits. In fact, both of his home runs have come 8th inning or later and put the Giants ahead, right? So Blanco getting a start today for Pagan. He's got the 2-run double with 2 outs. I mean,
on the last road trip in Cincinnati, Juan Perez is the backup player. Hits a 3-run home run to beat Cincinnati.
His only home run of the year.
Right.
And it's off Cingrani, and it was a 3-2 win. It's a great point. I mean, how much of that is luck, and how much of that is really the manager having a pulse of when to give guys off, when to play guys, things like that?
You know what? It's a very good question, and I don't know if I have the answer to that. But there's one constant here. You can't run your players out there for 162 in today's game.
Curveball got him. Nice pitch by Wheeler, and Colvin down on strikes. Number 5 for Zach today.
I believe he drops a hammer here. Sure does. Wheeler has to be careful not to slow his arm speed down that curveball. He has a tendency to do that every now and again.
Brandon Crawford has 4 hits in this series and 3 RBIs, including an RBI single in his only at bat back in the second inning. Fastball for a strike from Zach.
Nice easy motion, and just zing, just goes right in there like on a live wire.
Wheeler, after a tough second, had the first 2 runners on in the third, and then got a big double play from Mike Morris. Scored a run, but that gets him in a groove. 0-2. Just missed with a fastball at 93 miles an hour. You know, it's interesting. This is Zach Wheeler's 30th career start today, Keith. And essentially that's about a year, for a normal pitcher. For a good pitcher, if you have a good year, make 30 to 33 starts, something like that. And in the dirt with the curve. Coming into today, 9-10 with a 3.61 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP. How would you evaluate where he is right now? He just turned 24 years old a little over a week ago. And essentially, he's got about 1 full year of starts in the big leagues as count goes full.
I think he's made strides. I mean, the diamond in the rough. And after that Yankees start where he was so awful, couldn't find the plate. We'd never seen him like that before. Since then, and that's been 4 starts, he's been I think made a lift, a level up. He looks more confident. I get the feeling he has an idea what he's trying to do. There's ball 4 right there. There's a purpose to every pitch, where before he was just a hard thrower, young kid with a great arm and just a thrower. I think as far as the improvement he's made now, he's pitching with an idea and confidently. Even though he's given up 4 runs today, you got a pretty good ball club here. I think he's pitching with a purpose.
Learning to set up hitters a little bit better, just believing in his abilities a little bit more.
Throwing strikes.
Yeah. That, by the way, was his second walk of the game. So Crawford on yet again in this series. And now it's Hicks, the humongous cut and a miss on the fastball. Carlos Torres
working on the slider. He knows that. I wonder if that's because he's cognizant of the fact that he threw the hanger to Posey in the first game, that 2-run shot that lost the game.
Just missed. Crawford, by the way, on first, not really a threat to go. He's got 2 steals, 2 of 4 on the year.
And Hicks has really been the fill-in second baseman. Marco Scutaro didn't make it out of camp. Back surgery. He's out for a while. He was their starting second baseman.
Granderson going to give chase. And going to run out of real estate. All the sailboats are out today. Hasn't been that windy here this weekend, though. Sometimes you get those nights where wind just gusts on in. It's been really perfect. From weather standpoint, Mets baseball standpoint, they'd like to change it. Lost 5 in a row on this road trip after it started with taking 4 or 5 in Philadelphia. Wheeler's 1-2 to Hicks, and strike 3 call, fastball and a beauty, and Wheeler all of a sudden with 6 strikeouts on the day.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That was beautiful how he pitched. Hicks kept the ball down on the corners. Beautiful.
And now it's Lincecum with 2 down and Crawford off at first. Tim struck out his first at bat, had a couple good rips against Wheeler. And then Blanco came up and got the big 2-out double to score 2. And it's 1-0 to Lincecum. He did not offer at that one. Wheeler, the 6th overall pick by the Giants back in 2009. Facing his former team for the 3rd time. Faced them July 10th here last year and was outstanding, getting a win. And then faced him his last start of the year at Citi Field. Mets were shutting him down. He went 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 hits, got a no decision in that game. Right down the middle, it's 2-1 to Lincecum. Fans, you can follow every Mets game with MLB.com at bat for your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Mets.com today. 2-2 to Lincecum as we play in the 4th. Mets runs coming on Curtis Granderson's 2-run home run in the 1st inning. Giants got 3 in the 2nd, highlighted by Gregor Blanco's 2-run, 2-out double. They got another in the 3rd on a ground ball double play from Mike Morse. And that's where we stand. 2-2. Left side gets through. Tim Lincecum has his first hit of the year. And his first hit since September 14th of last year. And all of a sudden, Giants with 2 on, top of the order coming up.
The fans like it. They're giving him a standing O here. Nice effort by Tejada. Right in the hole. Here's a swing. Fastball away, I bet. Yes. Right with it. And now comes Terry Collins here. And is there going to be Blanco a left-hand hitter? Let's see what he's got to do here.
I mean, 86 pitches. I'd be really shocked if he took out Wheeler at this point. Evelyn's been warming in the Mets pen. Dana Evelyn. Now it's Edgin. Evelyn sat down. Edgin's up there now. He's just getting going, throwing. But
well, Wheeler will be the third. That's it. He's done.
Wow. A little surprised. I know Wheeler struggled at times. I guess because Blanco got him last at bat. But Wheeler's day is done. 86 pitches. This call to the pen brought to you by Verizon. And Josh Edgin coming in, trying to get out of a jam in the fourth. In this fourth inning, he lasts just 3 2/3, and that is the shortest start of his career. And so Josh Edgin comes in with 2 down, 2 on in the fourth, and it's Gregor Blanco, who already has a big 2-out, 2-run double against Wheeler. 86 pitches for Wheeler, and Terry Collins not wasting time, desperate for a win. And here's Edgin. Slider first pitch. To center first pitch, and Edgin does the job with 1 slider. Inning is over. Mets get out without any more damage. 4-2 Giants. True Fact, brought to you by Twisted Tea, the hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. 1938, an 18 baseball league was formed by inmates on Alcatraz. Lorenzo Murrieta, serving 40 years for assault and theft, led the league with a .402 average. I did not have a Lorenzo Murrieta baseball card when I was growing up, Keith. I don't know about you. Look at these photos.
And that's the hardcore criminals were in there. That's a federal pen.
That's great. Actually, if you go out, if you do the Alcatraz tour out there in that yard, one of the greatest views in the country, because you look to the right and you've got the Golden Gate. You look straight ahead as Campbell leads off against Lincecum here in the fifth. Straight ahead, you look right up into the city of San Francisco. You can literally see the hills right up into downtown. To your left, you've got the Bay Bridge. It's just gorgeous.
I bet you if you're there for 20 years, you get sick of it.
I would say you probably would. You ever do that tour?
I have. I was only over there once in my life, and that was right when they disbanded the penitentiary.
Oh, okay.
So long before Clint Eastwood made his movie in there.
Yeah.
There are two movies that were made there that are of important note. Burt Lancaster starred in The Birdman of Alcatraz. It was a black and white film back in the 60s.
They have an audio tour available, which I highly recommend. I did it a few years ago out here, and it was great. There's one part of it where you, as Campbell smokes one to left, and that's going to fall on in for a base hit. Played well out there by Colvin, and so Campbell held to a leadoff single. They get it in quickly.
Look at the crowd applauding. They know it was a potential double. I'm very impressed with the fans here. They are totally into the game. There's no carnival atmosphere in this ballpark.
Not at all. They're into it, paying attention and applauding for an effort like that. Now record. But anyway, Alcatraz, so you do the audio tour, right, Keith? And at one point you're going through, and they really do a good job narrating and taking you through a couple good stories. And you get to the point where it's solitary confinement. And you go in, and you kind of close the door, and you picture yourself in there. And they have a story how just to basically pass the time. It's dark. You're in this box with nothing. And guys would just kind of spin a button around, and by the noise, try and find it. And that would do that over and over again, and that would just kill the time, basically, as down to second goes Campbell.
Well, think about it, too. A 24-hour day. Ugh.
Big reason why they close Alcatraz is the money. It cost about $10 a day per prisoner to operate the facility, and I guess the average facility at that time was about $3 a day. So it just didn't make sense to fund it. Recker back up the middle. Going to stay in play, and on the first base is Hicks. So Recker retired. It does move Campbell over to third after he went to second on the wild pitch. One down, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for Edgin. So we're going to see Bobby Abreu here.
Well, it's important to note here, too. We'll get off this penitentiary talk.
I kind of like it.
San Quentin is just right down the road here, right across the bay, and made famous by Johnny Cash. And that's another federal pen. Some not so nice people in there.
No. So Terry going to Bobby Abreu early in this game. The Mets trying to scrape a little closer, get a run with Campbell after the leadoff single, finds himself on third with one out. Abreu 2 for 17 as a pinch hitter with the Mets, and curveball from Lincecum as a strike. It's been a good pitch for him today. Dendecker is on deck. Very interesting, Keith. Zach Wheeler, 3 2/3, certainly wasn't razor sharp. Terry Collins has, I think, probably seen enough this road trip where he wants a result today, and yanks him after his shortest outing. Edgen comes in, gets the job done, and now he's using his best pinch hitter here in the 5th.
Well, you've lost 5 in a row, got swept in Chicago. You don't want to have back-to-back sweepage.
And there was a conversation out there on the mound, too, with Collins and Wheeler. He had some time, 20 or 30 seconds, for Wheeler came in. I wonder what that was like, what was said there. I think the point of this team is right now, it's not about building up confidence. It's about winning some games by however means possible. Pitching like that, you got to find a way to win more. Mets have not. 2-2 as Abreu with the swing and miss. Tim Lincecum, 4 strikeouts today. As he works in the 5th, 4-2 Giants, and make it number 5. Abreu down on strikes. That's the second out this inning.
Boy, oh boy, the Mets are just having such a hard time getting runners across the plate. Chasing a bad breaking ball in the dirt.
Keith, their hitting with runners in scoring position has been putrid. I mean, according to Elias today, they've got a 200 team batting average with runners in scoring position since May 14th. 200. And hitting 163 with guys in scoring position during this losing streak. 8 for 49 coming into today.
Oh, nice hook.
I mean, that is just abominable.
It's not, doesn't factor into a lot of W's.
Well, see if Dendecker can change that narrative. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a steal, but was caught trying to steal. Bad base running play in the 1st. Another breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Another curveball in the outside corner. Another curve. He can go up the ladder now. Try to throw a fastball up in his eyes, see if he'll fish. Got an 0-2 count. And there it was. Not high enough.
Yeah.
So he can go up the ladder again or drop a hammer on him. He's still in the driver's seat, 0-2. He can do anything he likes. I like the way Sanchez is urging him. He wants it in the dirt. Curveball in the dirt.
Another curveball, boy, that just missed. How did Dendecker lay off that thing?
He's outside.
Oh, you're right.
He can be vulnerable with a nice little inside fastball right now. Everything's been away. Let's see what Sanchez does here. They're staying away.
Tell you what, Keith. Dendecker coming in today is hitting 192. He's had some pretty good at-bats this weekend, though.
He certainly has, and he's worthy of, as long as Lagares is out, it's worthy to, I think, keep him in the lineup. Give him some at-bats. Got to have someone going. The Mets are going home. They need a center fielder to play defense, and he certainly does that. Fastball away.
Got him. Lincecum with 2 big strikeouts to strand Campbell on third, and the Mets continue to fail with runners in scoring position. 6 strikeouts now for Lincecum, and we're halfway home at AT&T Park. Giants on top of the Mets, 4-2. We're coming back. By Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Branch out. By State Farm. Today's State Farm agent of the game is Pat Cawley of Glendale, New York. Contact Pat's office at patcawley.com. And by your Tri-Honda dealer. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2014 models. Flying on over the bay.
We are fixated on Alcatraz today.
We like it. Look, they're all tied up, all the kayaks. Probably not drinking Hawaiian Punch out there today, but enjoying themselves nonetheless. Third pitcher of the game already for the Mets is Dana Eveland, who was just signed on this road trip because the Mets were so taxed after those 2 5.5-hour games in Philadelphia. And Pence on the first pitch to Den Decker, and there's one down here in the home fifth.
All right, Sandoval finally gets in the box.
Sandoval turning around from the right side. Against Eveland, he is only a 158 hitter from the right side this year. 1 for 2 today, singled his last time up. Down to third. Campbell can't make the backhand, and Sandoval thinks about the hard turn to second. Is going to stop there as Campbell raced to get it.
That should be a base hit.
Sure it will be. Hard shot.
No, it can go either way. That's a home book hit.
And we did have a little time.
You're not going to get those on the road. That's what the hitters always say. We're never going to get them on the road. Got to get him. We better get him at home.
Well, he got it here. So now Morse, the hero last night with a walk-off single in the ninth. And Evelyn deals outside for ball one.
Take a look at Sandoval from the right side. A totally different hitter. Leg kick. A more wristy hitter from the right side.
1-1 to Morse. So today the Mariners beat the Rays 5-0. And Felix Hernandez, Keith, had quite the day. King Felix struck out 15 in that Seattle shutout.
Tampa Bay now has lost their last 10 out of 11.
They have really...
They're in last place.
Gone down the tank. Yeah, they are.
That's their 40th loss. They're 24-40 on the year.
Worst record in the league. Yeah, Felix Hernandez, 15 strikeouts, and that came in 7 innings. So 6 batters made contact for outs. That's about it. Mariners are playing all right. Just that the A's don't ever lose. A's bludgeoned Baltimore today, 11-1. So their run differential now is what, plus 128? It's something insane like that. I think it's plus 128.
There's the Coliseum. It's where the Raiders play and the Oakland A's. And right next door, too, is where the Warriors play. And they're building a new stadium. It's going to be a new arena right around here. Make this at a sport complex. The Warriors are coming here. Their home's going to be here, their new home.
They've got a great home court advantage, though, where it is. It'll be interesting to see if that dynamic changes. They've got outstanding fans.
I think it's a great idea to get the Warriors. I grew up with the Warriors in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They used to play at the old Civic Center back in the days of Wilt and Guy Rogers, Tom Sherry.
They're going to build it on one of the piers out here, aren't they? That was the original plan.
I think it's the one over the right field fence.
Wow. The designs are pretty sick, too. As Morse, big cut, down he goes. Cleveland's got his first strikeout.
Oh, there you go.
A little propane. I think a sausage just went in the bay. He lost one. Oh, man. There it is. It's floating right by the boat. He lost the sausage. That's just inexplicable. Can't do it. But yeah, in that arena, at least the original plans, I don't know if it's going to be the same. They have a window, a humongous window in the back, Keith, where you're going to look at the Bay Bridge while you're at the game. Insane. I mean, it looks unbelievable.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
The Warriors should be here.
They will be. Steve Kerr was at the game last night, the new Warriors coach.
Oakland had an ABA team back in the old days, right? Didn't they? Was there an ABA team?
In Oakland, I don't remember.
No, I don't think so, no.
I don't remember.
I know Rick Barry left. I know that. What was the team in New Jersey that Rick Barry was? Was it the New Jersey Generals that he left the Warriors for? Everybody was up in arms because Rick Barry was a great player, and he didn't re-sign with the Warriors, and he opted to the ABA. He got a huge contract.
It wasn't the Nets back in the day?
It probably was.
I thought it was the Nets.
Okay, it was.
Didn't they play at the Teaneck Armory back then? I think they did. Sanchez, tough play from Murphy on the run, slow roller, bare hands throws in time. Sanchez doesn't run that well, and Murph stayed with it, and the side is retired. 1 hit, 1 left. We're through 5. Giants 4, Mets 2.
that's Tennille, Captain Tennille.
All kinds of fun out in the Covey Cove today. Hey, the AT&T fan photo of the day is from Finley, Brooklyn CFS. Nice little shot. I'm guessing that was last night. All you need is the hashtag SNY fan photo. Got a chance to be our AT&T fan photo of the game last night. 7 line had about 400 people here, and it was loud until the end. That's when the Giants made their rally and came back and won. And then it turned into an awful long walk out of this place to the sea of Giant fans that were outside. Giants and A's are pretty good. Yeah, look at that run differential. The A's are number 1 in baseball, and the Giants are number 2. 128. Goodness. There it is. Somewhere in the haziness of that shot is the Oakland Coliseum.
I was right about Oakland in the ABA.
You are.
Our colleague Gary just said Rick Barry played 1 year for the Oakland Oaks. I remember. But he went over to the Nets, and they played at Island Garden.
Gotcha. They're just one more time with the records, first place for both teams. I mean, they're doing it all. They are the best teams in the league right now.
The Bay Area is awash in good baseball.
The A's are just full of good stories, too. I mean, Luke Donaldson, Brandon Moss. I mean, they're getting catchers from Norris and Jaso, their second catcher, their third catcher. They're pitching, and ever since they put Sean Doolittle in at closer, he's been terrific. Yeah, they just mauled the Orioles today. Guess who got the win? Scott Kazmir, 7 shutout. Kazmir is 7-2. Colvin fighting the sun, makes the play, and Ruben Tejada is retired. First out here in the 6th for Tim Lincecum.
Tell you what, when I played here in San Francisco, even at Candlestick, a day like this, you love playing the day games at Candlestick. It's a shame no one came to the ballpark back then.
Not as windy. Murphy. Hicks on the backhand. Nice play. 2 down. Check in with Steve Gelbs in the studio for a game break, brought to you by your local Tri-Honda dealer. Well, the Nationals, Steve, trying to rebound after they blew one last night. Both the Braves and the Nationals had their closers blow a game. Diamondbacks beat Kimbrel, and then the Padres got a home run from Alonso off Soriano, and then they won that in extra innings. But the Nationals winning today, as Steve just told you. The Braves are up in Arizona 2-0. That game is in the 7th.
Well, Granderson is the sole... The sole reason the Mets have 2 points on the board. His 7th home run, his first at bat. But since then, nothing but breaking stuff.
This one is a shot to right. This one's way back, headed for McCovey Cove, and it's gone. Second home run of the day for Curtis Granderson. And the Mets within a run. It's 4-3.
There you go. Well, as I was saying, the 2-run home run, his first at bat was a fastball down and out over the plate. Next at bat, he got a steady diet of curveballs away and struck out. And that's going to get the Giants bullpen active. And this is a no-doubter. Oh, almost got him.
Yeah, that was a shot. And the little girl has a souvenir. So, first 2-homer game of the year for Curtis Granderson, number 7 and 8 today.
Curveball, but down and in. He meant to get it away. Down and in, and then golfed right out of here.
That was the last time that he hit 2 in a game. Good to see the power from Granderson. He's been getting on base with the walks. But we know about his home run hitting capabilities. Back-to-back 40 home run campaigns in the Bronx. And by the way, he's now reached base for 21 straight games. And that's within a run here against Lincecum and the Giants. 2-1 count to Chris Young. And Young is foul. Two home run challenge on SNY. Just go to SNY.TV/Dwayne Reed. Curtis Granderson providing the ammo for that. Right to Hicks, and that should do it for the inning. But Mets get a little closer. All the offense provided by Curtis Granderson today. 2 home runs, number 7 and 8 on the year. She's happy. Still the Giants in front, 4-3. Today, the only 2 pitchers in San Francisco Giants history with more strikeouts than Tim Lincecum. Well, Marichal and Gaylord Perry.
The 1-2 punch, the Giants of my era of growing up.
Tyler Colvin leads it off. In the 6th inning against Dana Evelyn, there's the statue.
With that signature leg kick that Juan had. Quite a pitcher.
Big slider. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 to Colvin. Colvin singled and scored in the 2nd. That was on Gregor Blanco's 2-run double. Strikeout victim his last time up. Evelyn in his 2nd inning of relief. Zach Wheeler started his shortest outing of his career. Another slider and a good one, and Colvin is down on 3 pitches. Brandon Crawford now the shortstop. RBI single in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Shot to center and right at Dendecker. 2 down. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, seeing if Lincecum's still going to stay in this game.
Trying to say I wanted to get it away, and I got it down and in.
Gutierrez warming for San Francisco. Lincecum's gone more than 6 innings only one time this year. Even's got that slider going. Strike one to Brandon Hicks, 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts today. Quickly 0-2 to Brandon Hicks. Oh, goes around. I didn't think he broke the hands at all, but nonetheless, third strikeout for Evelyn. Makes quick work of the Giants in the 6th. He's had nice work out of the pen. Well, they call it nonetheless. Partnering with the New York Jets to help local youth football leagues with equipment donations, clinics, and Jets game experiences. Right now, we're accepting applications. If you know a local youth football league in need, you could apply today at facebook.com/SNY. Tim Lincecum's day is over. 6 innings for him, and he always seems to pitch well against the Mets, and did so today. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, and all those runs coming on 2 Curtis Granderson home runs. And so now it's on to Gutierrez.
26th game. Has yet to allow a run here at home. 11 2/3 scoreless innings in 13 appearances.
6 strikeouts today, 1 walk for Lincecum, 98 pitches. He really used that curveball to his advantage, too. It was a good pitch for him today. So on to the bullpen. Gutierrez pitched a perfect inning last night in the Giants win. And he's got 6, 7, and 8 due to Campbell and Recker here in the 7th. Goodness, the Mets could use a win, Keith. They've lost 5 in a row, and it's been a dreadful 2/3 of this road trip. And, well, let's face it. I mean, The Mets have had 20 leads disappear into losses this year, most in the league. The Giants have been the kings of the comeback with 17 comeback wins. They've done it a couple times in this series. Maybe the Mets, just maybe, they could turn the table a little bit today and flip the script. Why not flip it a little bit and see if they could be the ones coming back?
Well, you know, they have not played well since Philadelphia on this trip. They got swept in Chicago. They played as bad a game as you could play last night. Hopefully, you always say you can only, when you hit rock bottom, you can only go up. Well, hopefully that's what's going on with this team. It would be a nice comeback victory to get.
Duda takes a strike. It's 1-2 to Lucas. Duda 0 for 2. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Who can get us some runs? Maybe that guy? Somebody.
Well, that's the bench coach, of course, we just showed you with Terry having that conversation. And bench coaches have a much more hands-on role today than they did in the old days. And, they are there to assist, much what Don Zimmer was with Joe Torre when he came to the Yankees, the late Don Zimmer. They're looking at the roster. They're looking ahead. That's what they're doing. Whitey Herzog always told me, when you manage, you've got to think an inning or two ahead. Plus, you've also got to think 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters ahead in the lineup.
Wow.
Just in case something happens, you're prepared. You're not just caught sleeping. So it's good, you know, 2 heads are better than 1, I guess.
Well, just remember, David Wright's got the off day today, so he's available to pinch hit some point in this game. Breaking ball gets Duda. Gutierrez comes in, gets a quick strikeout. 1 down for Eric Campbell.
Well, gets a big strikeout in Duda because Duda's got pop. So it's a big out. 1-run ball game, curveball. Swung around under it.
So now it's Campbell's turn. Playing third base for Wright today, as we told you who's off. Eric is 1 for 2. Singled to lead off the 5th. Went to second on a wild pitch. And has been customary this trip, Mets left him on. He's got another hit. So Soup delivering 2 of 3 today, and the tying run on base for the Mets with 1 down.
Well, he kind of came up red hot. Was playing every day, wearing out AAA. Then he didn't play so much. Kind of cooled off. It's nice to see him get his base hits. It's not an easy job being a backup player. Right at the middle, level swing.
So now Recker, who is pretty much the starting catcher for this Mets team right now. If you missed it, just tuned in, didn't read anything this morning. Travis d'Arnaud demoted after last night's game to AAA. And so now Recker figures to take more of the opportunities. Taylor Teagarden was called up from AAA.
And this would be the spot to use David. In a perfect world, you'd want David to have the complete day off, not have to hit it in a pressure situation, but you get paid a lot of money. But he's there. He's your best bat off the bench. And this is a perfect spot for him to be used.
We've already used Abreu in this game. Missed with the breaking ball. 1-1 to Recker. 8 RBIs on the year for Anthony. Lefty warming. It's Lopez, the specialist for San Francisco.
If Recker hits a 2-run home run, gives the Mets a lead, I'd pull David back out. I'd pull him back in and pinch hit someone else and save him just in case it goes to extra innings.
1-1. This one driven to right. Pence retreats, makes the catch, and way off of first base is Campbell, but he's going to come on back in and get there. Now that'll bring up Wright.
Well, nothing done wrong by Campbell here. It's a fly ball. Remember, he's not familiar with any of the stadiums. A little bit too, it's fine. He's got plenty of time to get back.
So now it's David Wright getting the day off for the first time all year long and looking for a chance to give the Mets a little bit of spark here, trying to stop this losing streak that they're on. 5 games and trying to avoid a sweep. With Campbell off the first against Gutierrez. He takes a strike.
Sanchez looked down into that corner to see where the heck was that pitch.
Didn't miss by much. Dendecker will be next if Wright keeps it going. With 2 down here in the 7th against this excellent Giants bullpen. Second best in the league, as a matter of fact, with earned run average.
And Javier Lopez down in the bullpen, the left-hander for the Giants. Good slider right there. Just in case it gets to Dendecker.
Campbell's got a short lead. It's all on David Wright. Mets down by a run in the 7th.
Outfield playing deep for David, as they should. Big ballpark, big outfield, big gaps. Giving David the left field line.
The 1-2.
See Bochy down there pacing a little bit. This will make a manager nervous. This is a big out right here. Might be the biggest out in the game.
Wright's only faced Gutierrez 3 times, 0 for 3 in his career. He struck him out. Gutierrez strikes out 2 and gets a biggie to send Wright back to the bench, and the Mets still trailing. Time to stretch at AT&T Park. Got it with the heater outside. It's the Giants 4, the Mets 3. Hangouts. He takes you back to his hometown in the Bronx, plus the crew breaking down the second week of OTAs. An all-new Jets Nation tonight after postgame. It's only on SNY. Drive around the majors. The A's plaster the Orioles 11-1, and a benches clearing incident. 2 were ejected today. That all stemmed from the other day on Friday. Luke Donaldson and Manny Machado. Donaldson tagged Machado hard. Machado took exception on a running play, and then got into a little something there. I guess escalated today, but the A's got the win. King Felix, 15 strikeouts. Mariners shutting out Tampa. They've been awful lately. And then Gallardo went 7 shutout. Francisco Rodriguez an inning and a third for his 19th save. The Brewers are the best team in the NL Central, and they come to Citi Field this week with Estrada, Peralta, and Loesch starters. Willie Peralta's had a very good year and kind of a surprise. Don't know who expected that out of him. Daisuke gets the start for the Mets, and those are your standings. Brewers 5-game lead over the Cardinals in the NL Central.
Affeld up now in the bullpen. 41. They work Affeld a lot.
There's Carlos Torres in the game for the Mets. A-Ray Adrianza is the pinch hitter for Bruce Bochy for the pitcher spot. Switch hitter. And takes down low for ball 1. Torres, of course, pitched on Friday night. He allowed the 2-run game-winning home run to Buster Posey in the 8th inning. Mets offense today all coming from Curtis Granderson. A 2-run home run in the first, and then a solo shot in the 6th, both off of Tim Lincecum. But Lincecum pitched well. He went 6 innings, and that was all he allowed. And Zach Wheeler had a strange day. 86 pitches into the 4th inning, and Terry Collins took him out with 2 outs in the 4th, and Blanco coming up. Blanco, who had a 2-run double against him in the 2nd. It was the shortest outing of Zach Wheeler's career today. Edgin got 1 out on 1 pitch, and Dana Evelyn went 2 excellent innings and struck out 3. And now it's Torres. Popped up, shallow right, and Murphy can't find it. It's going to be a base hit. So a pinch hit single for A-Ray Adrianza starts it off for the Giants in the 7th.
Couldn't place it any better. Nothing Murph could do.
Meanwhile, the Braves had a 2-0 lead over the Diamondbacks today, but Arizona has stormed back with a 6-run 7th inning. Paul Goldschmidt with a 2-run home run, and it's 6-2 Arizona over Atlanta. So
Atlanta's reeling.
They really are. So the Nationals, who are winning 6-0, could have a tie for first place in the NL East. Thinking bunt here with Blanco. We'll see as Campbell will pinch at 3rd.
You got 1 or 2 things you can do. You can give him 1 strike to swing the bat. He's got a big 2 RBI double in this game. Or you can just bunt, play it very conservative. You got your big bats coming behind him.
And that one's going to get away from record. No need for the bunt anymore.
You can still bunt for this insurance run to get him to 3rd.
Well, that's true.
But this is a slider that almost hits Adrianza, and he was bunting. So from a defensive point of view now, you got to play it. You don't know what Bochy's going to do here. You got to bring your corners in. See, dude is kind of in no man's land. You either got to be in at the cut of the grass or move back with the pitch. Now the intent of if there is a bunt here, they're going to try to bunt down the 3rd base line to vacate 3rd base with the 3rd baseman fielding the bunt. Let's see how Bochy plays it.
Well, that'll do too. Back up the box. Adrianza's going to come on in, and he will score And that's an RBI single for Gregor Blanco. 3 RBIs today for Blanco with a spot start in the outfield.
Well, Bochy, I like that. Have confidence. Don't think that's a bunt situation. Don't think that Blanco doesn't realize it's a bunt situation. And then the manager saying, hey, I got faith in you to get the guy over or in. And he responds. That's good aggressive managing. I like that. And Adrianza runs well. And that is a huge insurance run.
Well, it sure is, especially the way the Giants' pen has been going. And now Hunter Pence, this inning certainly not over. Nobody out with Pence. And the breaking ball misses. Blanco is a stolen base threat too. 6 of 7 swipes on the year for him. And so Torres has been so reliable this year for Terry Collins. Has faltered a little bit in this series. The Posey home run the other night, and now back-to-back singles, a wild pitch, and the Giants make it a 2-run game in the home 7th. You know, Keith, it's incredible, right? I mean, certainly there are things that stand out for the Mets in this streak and really in the last 10 days, like hitting with runners in scoring position. But there's a lot more that doesn't hit the box score that's hurting them.
Well, you only got so much space, so many words to write when you're doing a game story, and there's always more underlying things that don't really are kind of under the surface that win or lose a ball game. 2 wild pitches today are critical.
I mean, look at the wild pitches this weekend alone. John Neese the other night, after trying to protect a 2-1 lead, there's a strike to Pence. He allows a walk. Wild pitch gets a runner in scoring position.
Yep.
And Crawford ties the game.
Correct.
That changed it there. Then last night, 9th inning, Mejia's on, trying to protect a 1-run lead. Strikes out Pagan. Scored a wild pitch. He reaches first. So they've been absolutely critical in this series. There goes Blanco, and Pence fouls it off.
Well, I like the aggressiveness of the Giants. When you've got a little momentum going and everything's going right, a manager's going to roll the dice a little more. When your team's hot and you're getting all the big hits, everything's going your way, hit and run more. You got to put the pedal to the metal. You got a 2-run lead here. You got your 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. Chance to really blow this game open.
2-2 to Pence, who's 0 for 1, and cut on, just got a piece.
Barely.
He's fooled on that one.
He can have some terrible hacks, this young man, but he can. Look at this. Young kids, do not emulate that.
Remember, he's probably got a nice little donut on his ribs. He got drilled by a fastball by Wheeler in the ribs in the 3rd inning, so I'm sure that didn't feel great. Take a look at Blanco.
Giants have only left 4 men on base in this game.
And they've come through in the clutch all year, not just this weekend.
Well, Blanco got the big blow back on that 2-out double in the 2nd inning with 3-run second.
Well, we've certainly talked about the little things. Wild pitches, base running, things like that have hurt the Mets. Pence hangs in. But the big prevailing theme is this. Mets have gotten runners on. They just cannot bring them in. And in this series alone, here's the contrast, Keith, from the team that's 20 games over 500 to the team that's not. Giants are 8 for 25 runners in scoring position. That's a 320 clip. The Mets are 4 for 24. That's 167.
It's been kind of what's been going on all year.
Really has. 2-2 again, and Pence double play ball. Murphy will flip it. Tejada with the spin to save it, and it cost him the double play.
Jeez, you got to turn two. How many times have I said that this year? The ball's hit hard. Murph didn't have to do the backhand toss. This is a bullet. And the throw is offline. Forces Tejada to do the spin, and there's the difference. You got time to turn and make a good solid throw over the top. You got to get those double plays. My word.
Yeah, that was tailor-made, but the Mets don't turn it, and so runner on. And still one out. Already a run in here. And it's Sandoval. Well, as we're talking about things that don't appear in the box score, that's a perfect example. Really is. Pablo's got a couple hits today, a couple of singles. And takes that one outside for a ball. Told you about the Braves suddenly losing, the Nationals winning. Oh, the Marlins won today too to stop the Cubs winning streak. Henderson Alvarez, she left that game with a hip injury, which is a tough thing for the Marlins, but we were looking at a three-way first place tie in the NL East. Well, the Dodgers are beating the Rockies 6-1. That game is now in a rain delay in Colorado. Dodgers already 9.5 back in the NL West. 2-0 to Sandoval now. Mike Morse on deck. Morse has been relatively quiet this weekend, but he made the noise when he had to, and that was with the game on the line. The walk-off single last night. Sandoval, Jack Swan to right. And Granderson tracks it down. Pence going to tag up from first to second, and he gets there.
He knows how to play the game. That's Death Valley out there where Granderson makes this play. It's 4:21 in that gap. Pence has certainly played here enough to know that at this situation, in that spot in the outfield, it's got to be crushed. He reads that he's got it under control. Granderson's got the catch. Gets back and tags. Good base running.
That's a long way away. The Giants trying to add on. It's 5-3. They've got a run in this seventh. Really, this inning should have been over. Mets failing to turn a double play, so now they get the third best RBI man in the league in Morse to the dish. Coming into today, referenced this earlier, the Giants scoring a ridiculous 46% of the runs with 2 outs. 46%.
That's pretty good.
That's clutch. I mean, their offense has been good this year. Breaking ball is a strike. Hasn't been great. They've been hitting a lot of home runs, and that's the other reason. They've been clutch. Very clutch. That to go along with the third best pitching staff in the league, a great bullpen. It's a good combination. One. That'll be a souvenir. Giants have won 9 of the last 11 games. Playing in this fantastic setting. Now 277 straight sellouts. Torres take a look at Pence. One-two on the way, and it's outside 2-2 to Mike Morse. Sanchez, the catcher, is on deck. There's Hector. San Francisco looking to go 21 games over 500. We're in the second week of June. Mike Morse hits one deep to left. Young backing up and has just enough room to haul it in and deny Morse his 14th home run. But the Giants get a run off Torres, gives them a 2-run cushion as we head to the 8th from the city by the bay. Like this for the Mets. The offense has been through one guy, Curtis Granderson. 2 home runs for him, his first multi-homer game since 2012. He had a 2-run shot and a solo shot, numbers 7 and 8. That's it. Daniel Murphy, 2 hits. He's got a run. Seems to do that every day. Campbell's had a couple hits, but the Mets, again, the limited runners they've had on, failing to get them home. A short start from Zach Wheeler. And now it's Jeremy Affeldt working for the 3rd straight day this series. And he'll start it off with the top of the order for the Mets. Affeldt so good in this series. Last 2 nights, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and a couple of strikeouts. And now Den Decker is pinch hit for by Andrew Brown. So Andrew Brown going to get the righty in there against Affeldt. See what Brown can do in this spot. 0 for 3 this year as a pinch hitter. Takes ball 1. One and 1 to Brown. Called up for his power. Called up to hit against lefties in this spot. Tejada and Murphy to follow as the Mets down by 2. Curveball misses. Andrew Brown, who bought a house in Port St. Lucie in the offseason in anticipation of, training where the Mets train and getting ready and working this offseason. And then bouncing back to AAA, where he dominated in AAA. As Keith pointed out earlier in the game, then getting the reward for it. Called up. 2-1 is now 3-1. There he is, Keith. We've been talking about Gene Machi.
Oh, yes. We haven't seen him.
Not yet.
Sounds like Gene the dancing machine.
He's been an out machine is what he's been.
No fooling. His numbers are off the charts, and you can use a superlative with his numbers.
Yeah.
Look how big his mitts are. Jeez. Not his glove. His hands. 9 years in the minor leagues, this kid. Doesn't look like he's been given minor league meal money.
3-2. Brown, does he go around? He does. Andrew Brown, a strikeout victim. Did he go?
I don't think so. I'm sorry, and I just think it's something that's been passed down to speed up the game. It becomes so automatic today. The check swing.
There really is no check swing anymore. I mean, if you do it, it's a strike. I agree with you. I don't think Brown went around there at all.
Not at all.
Well, now it's Tejada. Curveball from Atfeld is outside for ball one. Tejada's 0 for 3 today. He's had a decent road trip swinging the bat. In the 2-hole today with David Wright with the day off. Now going forward for the Mets. They've used Abreu, they've used Brown, they've used Wright, so Flores and Teagarden.
It's a very impressive bullpen here that the Giants have. You got two solid left-handers, veterans in Affeldt and Javier Lopez. You've got Machi, who's been off the charts. Romo's your stopper. He's solid.
3-0 to Tejada. We saw Contos come in last night, hard thrower. The good curveball. Former Met farmhand Yusmeiro Petit, kind of their long guy. He's filled in for Matt Cain starting, so they have it all squared away down there. 3-0. A strike. This first time all year, by the way, that Affeldt has pitched 3 straight games. Thought we might see Machi to start the inning. And now it's Machi and Lopez, and now it's 3-2 to Tejada.
Well, you don't want to walk Ruben. You want to make sure that he earns his way on the bag here. You've got a 2-run lead. You bring the tying run to the plate in Murphy and Granderson.
Payoff pitch. Tejada. Crawford bobbles and still makes the play.
This might be Terry's probably going to come out. It's too critical. You got to shoot your bullet here, your lone bullet.
He's waiting for the call of what the replay official Jim Kelly tells him.
We'll take a look right here. Another tough time with the backhand from Crawford, and I guess he got him because Terry's not coming.
Boy, it's close.
Good recovery by Crawford. Yep, he got him.
He did. Good no challenge. He would have been out. So Terry saving it in case he needs it the rest of the way. But now bases empty, 2 outs, and Murphy takes the curveball inside for ball 1.
Crawford's got to work on that backhand. It's short.
Well, that's been his knock, his range, and clearly we've seen the backhand issues, but he can hit. He got it just in time. Murphy on the curveball to right, and it plops in front of Pence. So Daniel Murphy has a 3-hit day. Time now to check in with Steve Gelbs. He's in the studio. Another game break, Steve, brought to you by the New York State Smokers Quit Line. All right, Steve, thanks very much. Sorry, Keith.
It's all right. The big guy at the bat today.
Yep. Granderson's had a day. 2 home runs, his 7th and 8th of the year. First multi-home run game for him since 2012 when he was a Yankee.
Well, the Mets have no right-hander a left-hander off the bench. The only guys left on the bench are Flores and Teagarden, right-hand hitters. Machi is in the ready if Granderson singles.
Mets wouldn't mind a 3-homer game for Granderson. Just something. They need something. The way this road trip has gone. He does have a 3-home-run game in his career, by the way. That was April of 2012 against the Twins. Maybe time for another. Ahead 2-0 in the count. 2-1.
This is always a situation here. Granderson's got power. The opposing team's going to respect. These guys hit 40 home runs 2 years in a row with the Yankees. I don't care what stadium you play in. 40 is 40. You're going to keep the ball away. You want to try to tie the ball game up, trying to pull a home run, we'll try to pull this outside pitch.
Right side with the shift on, and it gets through. Murphy's going to go to third. Granderson racing towards second, and he gets there. Granderson with a ground ball double. And the Mets have the tying runs in scoring position now for Chris Young.
He puts it right between the guys on the shift. And I got to wonder if Crawford distracted Hicks here. And great hustle by Granderson here. Heads up, hustling. Sees the ball kick off. Never hesitates. Now that's the tying run in scoring position. And now we're going to get a look at Machi.
So the Mets have their chance when we come back. 2 down and Young at the plate, hoping to tie it. Gene Machi has been a revelation for the Giants this year. The 32-year-old on to try and get out of a mess now. Mets have a chance to tie it. Tying runs and runners in scoring position. 2 outs. Down 5-3 in the 8th to the Giants.
Well, he has been something else. Has not allowed on a run in 21 2/3. He's inherited runners. He's retired the first 21 of 27. Well, he needs to do it here.
And what a spot for Chris Young, who's been struggling so mightily, at a single away from making you forget a lot of that, would tie it. And he starts him off with strike one.
He's got a forkball he throws. He spent 9 years in the minors, was a fastball slider pitcher with moderate success. Developed the forkball last year, and it's turned his career around. Those numbers right there, I mean, those are just off the charts.
Oh, 0-1 to Young. And it gets away. Murphy's going to try and score. The play at the plate. He's safe. And Granderson on down to third. Mets will take it any way they can get it. And a wild pitch draws them to within one.
Well, when you have a forkball pitcher, runners on scoring position, particularly in third base, makes it a little more dicey to throw that forker. And now it's got to be in the back of Machi's mind. Gosh, I got the runner. Now the tying run's at third. Do I want to throw another forkball, which has been my out pitch? I don't want to throw it in the dirt. He may be more susceptible to lift his sights and throw a fat one. Good hustle by Murph. Good instincts.
Tying run on third. 1-1, 2 down to Chris Young with Machi dealing.
Oh, boy.
Man.
It's a little different when a runner's on third base. Senor.
Sanchez temporarily saves it there. 2-1 to Young. If you're wondering, there is no lefty for Terry Collins to pinch hit, and even if there were, Machi has been murder on lefties this year. So this is Young's show right here.
Mets are in desperate need of a 2-out RBI single, a base hit of any sort. I like the way Sanchez behind the plate. It really spurs on his pitchers. He's very much a positive behind there. And here is a big pitch.
The 2-2, and the count goes full. Duda hoping to get a shot here if Young can extend the inning.
He's thrown all forkballs. A good time to step out. Tight spot on the pitcher here.
Young lifts it to left. And Colvin puts it away, and the Mets leave another runner on base. Machi comes in and retires Young, and the Giants hanging on to the lead. 5-4, bottom 8 we go.
Kev.
Oh, man, that looks awesome.
What fun. I think this guy's done this before.
It looks so cool. See, if it was me, I would probably be turned upside down and the thing would be driving me into the bay floor.
Look at that. What fun.
That's really cool, man. Andrew Brown pinch hit for Matt Dendecker, so he stays in the game left field. Chris Young, who was in left, scoots over to center. Granderson, he's still in right. Just letting you know. And so Torres tries to keep the Giants at bay. It's a 1-run lead. One more time, the Mets leave a runner on. They had tying run at third. Chris Young couldn't get it done as Machi came in and retired him. And so it's 5-4 Giants looking for the sweep of the Mets. Bottom 8 we play. And it's Hector Sanchez leading things off and hitting one foul in an 0-2 hole. Keith, I don't know if you know this, but Queen's own 50 Cent coming to Citi Field for a concert after the Mets-Padres game Saturday, June 14th. It's part of the Mets concert series presented by Dwayne Reed. Catch 50 Cent, now joined by the original G-Unit members, live in concert June 14th, Mets.com/concerts. 0-2 to Sanchez, and he got him.
Are they charging 50 cents for the concert?
I don't think so.
Be appropriate.
That would be a good little promotion. Should send that in.
Backdoor breaking ball.
First strikeout for Torres. Tyler Colvin's day. 1 for 3. Couple of strikeouts. Did score a run back in the second inning. Mets go from tough to tough as the Brewers, the high-scoring Brewers, come to Citi Field.
Well, they go from one divisional leader to the next.
Mm-hmm. Brewers have a 5-game lead in the NL Central. They won today, but the Cardinals won today as well. They shut out the Blue Jays again. Toronto, which was on fire after winning the first game of that series on Friday night. Back-to-back shutouts by the Cardinals. It was Shelby Miller yesterday, Jaime Garcia today. That's impressive, especially up in Toronto, the Rogers Center, where they're so good. Big swing and miss at the curve, and it's 1-2 to Colvin. Well, I'm guessing Machi's going to have a chance to close it out, Keith. There's no Sergio Romo warming.
They've only got Lopez up in case there's trouble, and that would be looking down the list here. I don't know why they would have. But they're past the, well, Duda leads off.
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to bring him in. Machi's been unbelievable against left-handers.
Precisely. It's just not going to happen. It's Machi. It's all on Machi.
He's got 2 saves on the year, so it looks like a good chance for a third. 2-2. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carlos Torres. And there's 2 down in the 8th.
Well, that was an awful swing. My goodness.
Terry Collins out. Carlos Torres. Crawford up. Looks like Scott Rice is coming in. That'll do it for Torres. He allowed a run in 1 2/3. But now it's Scott Rice against Crawford. Is that a real good series? Mets trying to stay within a run. Rice's turn with 2 down in the 8th.
They cut my mind.
Scott Rice in there, his 32nd appearance of the year against Brandon Crawford, who fouls off the first pitch. Rice is, with that appearance, now third in the National League behind Brad Ziegler and Carlos Torres, who just pitched a moment ago.
Well, Crawford hitting against left-handers this year is hitting .333 with 60 at bats. There's the numbers of Rice.
Crawford's had a good series, 3 RBIs this weekend. And it's 1-1.
Well, it may be Romo.
He'll be looking, if he does get in there, for his 20th save.
Well, it probably would be Javier. If they do that, then Javier Lopez would face Duda.
Crawford to center, deep, Young on the run, not going to get it. And Crawford chugs in a second with a double.
Well, there's a reason why, and that's going to get Terry out to bring in a right-hander to face Hicks. The reason why Crawford's hitting .333 against lefties. He stays in.
Well, Scott Rice, one batter, a double, and now we get a change. Vic Black's turn, trying to keep the Giants at bay. .10:30 tonight on Geico Sports Night. We'll hear from the Rangers, who return down 2-0 to the Kings, and then the Heat and the Spurs. I don't think CJ tweeted color bars, but we get the idea. So here's Vic Black. Vic is facing Brandon Hicks here, trying desperately to keep this a one-run game. He starts off with ball one. Black has been real good since being recalled by the Mets. Just 1 run allowed in his 6 innings, and that came in Chicago the other day. And at that time, he was stretched out, won an inning and 2/3, and struck out 3. So here's Hicks, who's whiffed all 3 times, but he's got a lot of power. 8 home runs on the year for Hicks. Crawford at second. That breaking ball never really broke, and it's 2-0. looking ahead, the Mets in the top of the ninth will have 6, 7, and 8. It's Duda, Campbell, and Recker. And they only have pinch hitting options on the bench of Wilmer Flores and Taylor Teagarden. So you're probably looking at those three. That's a base hit. Crawford coming around with an insurance run and a huge one at that. 2-run lead for the Giants. This team with 2 outs is unbelievable.
They clutch out. 2-0 count, missed with 2 breaking balls. So what are you going to do? Hey, you're in to get a right hand hitter out. You're a right-hand pitcher. I'm looking 2-0 fastball. And that's a huge 2-out RBI. Nope, there you go. Ball's away. Not a bad pitch. Down. Stayed right with it. Didn't try to pull it. Do too much.
So Brandon Hicks delivers. And now it's Joaquin Arias who will be the pinch hitter. 1 for 13 in this role this year. Where the damage is done, making it a 2-run Giant lead. Fastball away for ball 1. Mets have lost 5 in a row. That ties their season-long losing streak. Trying to avoid going 7 games under 500 today against the best team in the big leagues. You knew this was going to be a tough series. It's been a close series. But the one thing noticeably different is that the Giants hit in the clutch and the Mets don't. Been seen over and over again this weekend. The Mets, let's not forget, 2-0 they led Tim Lincecum in the first inning. So if they lose this game, it would be the 21st time this year they lose a game that they led. No small feat. It's worse in the majors, by the way. Just looking for something to change the momentum. And the Mets have been unable to find it. You thought last inning, Keith, maybe it was it. You know, Granderson, the way that inning set up, they had Murphy with a hit. Granderson had a big hustle double, and they set it up with second and third and couldn't get that big hit. Young popped out to end the inning.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. And this is usually what happens when a team is in a bad stretch.
Mm-hmm. It's 1-2 to Joaquin Arias. Black trying to end the inning. There goes the run. Arias strikes out, and that'll do it. But the Giants, with an enormous insurance run, off the bat of Brandon Hicks, who delivered it. An RBI single, and now the last chance for the Mets. They trail it by 2 heading to the 9th.
So far, they haven't worked.
All right, fellas, thanks. We'll be hearing from you shortly, or maybe not, if the Mets can muster some offense here. As Javi Lopez, so tough on lefties, facing Lucas Duda to start it off, and he deals strike one.
And this will be his only bat. Left-handed specialist, 36-year-old Puerto Rican. 25th game, only 13 innings pitched, but he's solid. Look at the numbers against left-handers. He's here to get Duda out. Romo's coming in to get the two right-handers.
It's a nice luxury to have, and it's 0-2 just like that. Arias, who pinch hit, stays in the game at third base. And it's 1-2. Duda today 0 for 3. A fly out, ground into a double play, and then a strikeout. Campbell on decks had a nice afternoon. He's 2 for 3, a couple singles. It's 2-2. Duda trying to get it started for the Mets. Pitch.
Ooh, boy, Lopez wanted that. Just missed. Lucas got a good eye. I think that just missed. Full count. Can't walk Duda now. Boy, oh boy, right to the glove. Could have gone either way. You're here to get a left-handed out. If Lucas goes deep, he doesn't beat you. You got to make him earn his way on.
3-2. Great eye by Duda. Man, he fought back in that at-bat after 2 quick strikes, and he draws a walk, and that will get the tying run to the plate.
That's a sin.
Bruce Bochy out. Sergio Romo coming in. Mets have life when we come back. League best 20th save of the year.
First retired batters you see there, 19 of 26. 6 of his 9 runs allowed this season have come in the last 9 games. He's been struggling.
Campbell's got 2 hits today, and he takes a slider for strike 1.
Good slider right there.
Lucas Duda just drew A really good walk against Lopez after falling behind 0-2 in the count. So Campbell, the tying run at the plate here. Maybe the Mets can turn the table. 14 comeback wins for them this year. Boy, could they use it. 0-1. And lays off that slider. 1-1 to Campbell. Playing third base for David Wright today. We got the day off.
Pretty upright. Gets his momentum going forward quickly. Not a big stride. He's a slider ball pitcher.
One. Cut on and missed.
Another slider, not a strike. Just the bottom drops out the last minute.
Becker on deck. We know he's got some power. Romo's 1-2. And he got him. He went fishing.
Tough mark for the young Eric Campbell here. Tough side-arming right-hander. Really tough on righties. Almost a submariner, but he's really sidearm.
So now it's Anthony Recker, and Wilmer Flores has come out on deck to pinch hit after Recker. Anthony today basically thrust into the starting catching role after the Mets demoted Travis d'Arnaud last night. Big spot here, 0 for 3 today, swinging at the first pitch and popping it up. 2 down. Last hope for the Mets, it's Wilmer Flores. He's the tying run at the plate.
Well, remember, Wilmer's got some pop. Hit the grand slam in Philadelphia earlier in this road trip.
Slider, strike one. Man, that thing looks like a wiffle ball when it's going right for Romo. Flores 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter with an RBI. He'll take anything, a dribbler, just to keep this game going. Mets are down to their final strike, trying to avoid a 6-game losing streak. The 0-2. A little high with the fastball.
Oh, he wanted that pitch. He was going to be aggressive and go after it. You're so concerned about, as a right-hand hitter against Romo, that slider, and you can sneak a fastball by it. But notice it was away. So just in case you want to try to hit a home run, try to hit one that's outside corner and try to pull it out of here. Be my guest.
One-two. And Flores pops it up, angling towards the crowd, and he will stay alive.
Not a good pitch, 0-2. That was a hanger. Right down Broadway.
Again, the 1-2. And Flores hangs in off the slider.
Lincecum can go 6-5 if Romo can close it out.
Lincecum pitched well, 6 innings, 3 runs, all 3 runs coming from 2 home runs from Curtis Granderson. Right now, Romo and Flores. The 1-2. He got him. And the Giants sweep the series against the Mets. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Sergio Romo. So a leadoff walk after a good at-bat from Duda, but he goes nowhere. And a bad road trip for the Mets. They're going to go home with a 6-game losing streak in tow. And the Giants, they just keep on winning, man. Well, they go to 21 games over 500. They get the 6-4 win today.
There's Romo, always has a reaction. '20th save. Lincecum goes to 5-4 on the year. Wheeler to 2-6, and what started out as a wonderful trip has come crashing down.
Mets won 4 of 5 in Philadelphia, and they played well in doing it.